Welcome to Grantham for Road to Glory, an incredible night of kickboxing action under glory rules. We have 3 super fights. We have an 8-man tournament. At stake, 3 glory contracts. Let's go to Buddy Johnson, our MC, to get this one rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for 3 3-minute rounds of professional kickboxing in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting at the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall and weighted officially at 64.5 kilograms. With 8 wins and just 3 defeats, representing Bad Company, he is Elson Patrick. And his opponent standing across the ring in the red corner. 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighted officially at 64.7 kilograms. With 7 wins and just 5 defeats, representing MMA Mafia, he is Brett Healy. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. John Blackledge.
So this is it, Road to Glory begins, and it begins with the reserve fight for the featherweight 8-man tournament. And Howard, either one of these young men has the potential to become a star. Why is the reserve fight so important in a tournament like this?
Simply because the tournament is quarterfinals, semi-finals and final all on the same evening. So the chances of an injury, very high, Malcolm, very high. So these 2 guys will almost certainly be needed and hopefully get a chance to make stars of themselves. You introduce them as young men. Brett Healy is the 2nd oldest person in the tournament tonight. He's 37 years of age and sporting the grey hair to show it. And as I'm the other side of that, I'm wishing him all the best.
Yes, on the other side, as you rightly said, the younger man, Elson Patrick, 23 years of age. Also, the slightly better record, but in this sort of tournament situation, that means nothing. No,
the tournaments are like tournaments in every sport. On the day, anything can happen. Giants can always be upset by little minnows.
Now, you talk of that, that's one good thing to notice. There is a distinct height advantage for Elson. He needs to be able to bring this into bear, though, doesn't he?
That's right. It's all going to be on strategy. He's 6 inches taller. He should keep his range like he's doing now with some nice kicks, and let Brett have to fight and work hard to get in. So Brett needs to use his feet to get closer.
That's the point, Brett. This is a difference in styles here. Brett will have to work on the inside, and as you said, for Elson, it's to make him work for every opportunity to get inside.
That's right. Keep him at long range on the end of the front kicks and the long punches. That's what he should be doing. Why engage, especially in a tournament like this, if you don't have to?
Having said that, Elson Patrick seems quite happy to engage. He does come forward. He comes in to engage rapidly and switching stance left to right. And for Brett, it could be a hard night trying to get inside, trying to find that moment.
Well, the thing is with this is that they've both got to try and win without picking up injuries. So they've got to use intelligence while they're fighting. So if I was Elson, or if I was in his corner, I'd be saying, listen, keep it long range.
Yes, Elson looking to chop at the lead leg. And as we said that, good punching there from Elson. He's coming in and he is making it pay for Brett. He's hurt him twice there.
Yeah, he's on top already. He's landed the cleaner shots. It's tougher for Brett. What Brett's doing, he's bouncing up and down. He needs to be bouncing forward and backward so he can close the range quicker. He needs a lot of speed on his feet. At the moment, he's not showing it.
And as you said, it's difficult for him if you... Oh, a low blow there. He'll be given time to recover and probably fortuitous for him. I know he doesn't want that, but it was at a time when he's under pressure, so he could actually benefit from this.
Absolutely right. He's older, he's more mature, he's had enough fights, he's had 13 contests, so he should be experienced enough to know what he needs to do if he needs a respite, because he picked up a couple of heavy shots to the head as well as that low blow.
And it's shown already that it's going to be a difficult night's work for him under this situation. Tactically, he needs to get in fast, and then once he's in there, he has to work.
That's right. If Elson doesn't make the mistake of coming in too close to him unnecessarily, he has to work to get close. That was a good leg kick there from Brett. Terrific knee from Elson Patrick.
And the thing is, he's coming in close because he obviously feels confident, doesn't he? You've rightly said, he doesn't need to change the range, but when he does, he is proving effective.
He is proving effective, but what he needs to remember, he's got other contests after this one if he's victorious tonight. At the moment, he seems to be on top, but things can change.
And as you saw there, Brett was just saying to our referee, Mr. John Blackledge, another one was low. John didn't agree with him, but this is better from Brett. This is what he needs to do when he closes that gap. He needs to work hard inside and maybe catch. Oh, that one. Now that was clean. That was to the midsection with a knee.
That looked like a clean knee to me, above the waistband. We'll see what John Blackledge has to say about it.
Now, from our standpoint, we are saying we felt that attack from Elson was perfectly timed and the knee was delivered. But by the way John's reacting here, maybe he's not so sure.
He's not sure. No, he's treating it as a foul. He's treating it as a foul. If he is treating it as a foul, is he going to take a point away from Elson Patrick?
That's a good thing to think about here, because he is looking and he's going to the judges and he's asking, I think, if they saw it. He's actually saying he's checked with the judges, but that was straight to the rib cage, not the groin. He checked with 3 judges. Now, you said earlier, Howard, that's a big win, and if you're going to win the reserve match, do it in the first round in style.
Exactly. So he'll have done it in the first round, probably picked up no injuries, because I couldn't see where he might have a niggly bruise on his shin or something, but nothing that's going to affect him later on. So Elson Patrick is all set and ready to go. If someone gets injured in any of the main contest, he's ready to jump in.
And looking at that, could be a dangerous man in that tournament.
I like the look of him. He could have kept it even easier by keeping at long range a little bit more. He's keen to get engaged. He's experienced enough to know that's what he needs to do. I would assume that's what his corner were telling him. But who are we to talk? He won clearly, and he won in the first.
That's right, and as you said, he did it with some style. Brett Healy, we said from the start, with the height difference, the age difference, it was a bit of a mountain to climb. He had to get inside. He had to risk, but every time he has to go inside, he risks what happened to him.
He does, and the thing is, when you're up against a tall man, it's almost inevitable that a tall man is going to be good at knee technique. And he landed a few before the finisher, and I'm afraid Brett Healy didn't have an answer for it.
Yes, a very good start for Elson Patrick, and we might see more of him now later in the evening. We're just waiting for Brett Healy to be okay for the official announcement, and they're just checking him over with the medics. That safety first for all our competitors here tonight. Before anything else, fighter safety is paramount. But like Howard, I like the look of Elson Patrick. Obviously, Bad Company, very respected gym in Leeds. You'd expect that schooling from him. And I feel with that mixture of youth and the belief that he could do it is why he chose to close the range.
Yeah, I think within the first few seconds, he felt he was stronger and quicker.
So let's go to Buddy Johnson to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout ended 2 minutes 22 seconds of the first round. Your winner by TKO, Elson Patrick. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for 3 3-minute rounds of professional kickboxing in the welterweight division. This bout sponsored by Revolution Bar and Kitchen in Grantham. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man stands 6 feet 1 inches tall and weighing officially at 76.7 kilograms. With an official record of 19 wins with just 7 defeats, representing elite Southport, he is Jake Barton. And his opponent fighting across the ring in the red corner, standing 5 feet 12 inches tall and weighing officially at 76.5 kilograms, with an official record of 14 wins with just 4 defeats, representing Nas KB, he is Dawid Pulaski. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. John Blackledge.
19 wins, 7 losses for Barton, 14 wins, 4 losses for Blaske. And again, under professional rules, but because we have the MD and the head of European operations of Glory here, every fight tonight is potentially important for these young men.
Yeah, the legendary Cor Hemmers is here. They've got to impress him. They impress him, they can go all the way in this organisation. And the Glory is such a terrific brand.
That's right, we know there are 3 contracts up for grabs, but for every fighter tonight, it's the opportunity to impress them who are sat here at ringside, so there's that added edge to the contest tonight.
Yeah, and Jake Barton started very fast. I've known his father for decades, Phil Barton, terrific kickboxer. So I'm expecting Jake, he must be well schooled, to do well and to look good in the very least. But I must admit that David Blasquez is giving a good account of himself.
Yes, both men right on the button in terms of fitness. And Blasquez from NAS Kickboxing in Ireland, a very dangerous opponent in front of young Jake Barton. And as I said, there's no more incentive to have the MD of Glory sat in front of you there, the legendary Cor Hemmers, as we said, and it adds extra spice to these contests.
It does, and well, we're looking at the action's really heating up now, and it's the scene's being set. Jake's a taller, younger man and more experienced, which is unusual as he's so much younger, but he's setting the scene and keeping it at long range, being very technical.
You'll have to watch that left hand of Blasquez though, that came as a counter, and he looked for it again in the right. Blasquez looks a heavy-handed boxer.
Well, that's it, the scene has been set. So Blasquez is the hunter, and he's coming in behind a nice tight guard and throwing power shots. Almost every blow he throws has got bad intention on it.
Well, Jake Barton had to take a sweet spinning back fist as well. His chin's been proven here as well, and as you said, this one really heating up at the halfway point. Both men have landed cleanly, and we saw again the heavy hands of Blasquez. The real danger for Barton here is that knee comes in as well.
Yeah, Jake's under pressure. He's taken a lot of shots and he's been pushed back. When you push back, you got less power. And not only that, Blasquez's work rate at this point is higher. He's throwing more shots.
You can see the schooling of Barton. He works in combinations, they're sweet. But what Blasquez's done is a real raw power, and he steps forward and will take those shots to give in reply.
Yes, well, he just got knocked down there by a punch. Jake did. He was off balance, so the punch didn't really affect him, but it was just the power of it, and I think he hit him on the chest. But he's got to start moving forward at some point behind straight shots. Either that or move side to side and then attack with angles.
Well, the other thing we saw there, that when a man is relentlessly walking you down, chopping at that lead leg to try and slow him, to try and make him come in more slowly, is a good tactic as well. But as you said that, Jake has started to get on his bike. I think it was a real wake-up call, that last combination. And now the knees are coming in from Blasquez behind those heavy punches.
Well, as we said, the game's been set, and the power game's coming from Blasquez. It's a good combination there from Jake. He's trying to fight him off him more than anything else. And the older man is stronger. He's a little bit shorter. He's stronger. He's got a more squat physique. And Jake needs to use strategy now. Move, striking combination. Singles won't do the job. And then move again.
That's right. And again, we saw earlier, well, there's the end of the first round. And Barton started well, but as the round developed, I don't know about you, Howard, I felt that Blasquez, as you said, got stronger and stronger and took that round for me.
He took it clearly, in my view. He was the aggressor. He was throwing more shots, and he was landing the more effective shots in the last half of the round. Certainly even a little bit more than that.
And as we can see here, you said about the aggressor, he stays in the pocket, and it was that catch and punch perfectly timed.
Yeah, there's the shot that knocked him down. He punched to the chest. And now he's got Jake backed up again, which is the tail of the latter part of the round. He's got him backed up and he's firing. He's doing all of the work, and it's good work too.
Now for Jake, as you said, more lateral movement. There's the jumping knee that was very good, but Blasquez, as you said, strong, took it and came straight back again. Lateral movement, stay out of danger, and maybe chop at that lead leg of Blasquez, because as you said, he does plant it. He is coming in methodically. It's there to be hit maybe to try and slow him down and then move again, because I feel that in the second round there definitely needs to be a change of tactic from Jake.
Jake needs to change tactic, because don't forget, he hasn't got long left now. He's just given away one round, and if he goes a distance, which it looks like it might, then he's got his work cut out.
And Blasquez, you can't expect anything else except to come forward with confidence as he's doing.
He's coming forward with brains. He's got a nice high tight guard, and he's backing his man up to cut down on his power, and he's throwing, which is the most important thing.
And we were impressed with his... Oh, but having said that, Jake finally gets through with a right hand, and it inspires him to come forward.
It looked like he stunned Blasquez there with a right hand that hit just beyond the left ear, and he's landed another good shot there, but he's moving away again. He should keep on that initiative and keep going forward. Looks like he'd get his chances gone, because Blasquez recovered. And
that was a very good left hand to the body from Blasquez, and a knee to the head and body again, and suddenly Barton is under pressure once more, backed up in his own corner. John Blackley's looking very closely at him.
Very close. I don't know whether he was looking to say, oh, those knees are pulling the head down, which is not allowed, or whether it was that he thought that Jake was hurt. But he's certainly got his eye on the ball. the way I'm looking at it now is that Blasquet's picked up where he left off in round 1.
Well, what he's done very well is he showed us his boxing skills early. Oh, having said that, he's wobbled by the spinning back fist. You cannot get Jake Barton out of there. What a superb comeback.
Yeah, but Jake's backing off again. Why is he backing off? I can imagine his dad, Phil, must be going crazy. That's twice he's landed good shots and he hasn't pounced on his man. He's got to learn to keep the initiative.
But what it has done here, Howard, has really pumped up the intensity for the crowd. This second round has really come to life with some heavy, heavy shots.
Well, it's an all-action fight so far.
And Blasquet again, he impressed us with his boxing, but he's shown there's a lot more rounded technique to him, isn't there?
Yeah, he just landed a great straight right hand, and Jake countered with 2 great front kicks too. So they're both landing. It's just who's going to throw the more shots.
A second round of pure quality here as we go into the last minute. And I've still got Blasquet in dominant form. Jake's shown in moments what he's got there, but Blasquet has set the pace and for me continued that dominance of the round.
It's absolutely right. It's down to the amount of shots. They're both throwing decent quality shots, but Blasquet's just got that higher work rate. And at the end of the day, that's what keeping him ahead at the moment.
And under these glory rules where aggression is so looked upon, he comes forward well, doesn't he? He walks his man down.
He just will not be denied. But Jake now has got to grit his teeth and he's got to take the play away from him.
You'd like to see him stay in the pocket to double up the power there, wouldn't you?
That's right. He doesn't have to stay all the time, but he's got to fire combinations and stay there. When he lands a good shot, take advantage, throw another combination before he moves away.
But another body shot to the midsection, and this time Jake Barton felt it. He stood in, and again, he plants his feet before he lands them, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got good power technique, Blasquet. He keeps himself low center of gravity, good
all
power.
Over, Howard.
It's over. It's over. The older, stronger man, Malcolm, the older, stronger man.
He threatened it in the first round. He took his foot off balance and he threw the right, but this time he threw the right coming forward with his feet planted. And what I liked was the way Blasquet turned it up. We saw good boxing at first, then the knees came in, then the low kicks. Then we saw his capability for combinations and a superb finish.
Yes, he looked like he felt he was stronger than Jake. And he just kept on that game. There we go. Jake has a go. He's not taking it lightly. And that's a great attack there. Not sustained. He backs off straight away. And that was his downfall.
And then Blasquet, as we said, shows on top of those heavy punches, those knees. He comes forward strongly, another knee. I mean, to be fair to Jake, he took a lot of punishment before that right hand and was still there, still firing.
Yeah, Jake can't be faulted on heart and courage. It was just his strategy. I mean, it's a great head kick there. It was blocked, but a great head kick. It would have had an effect even though it was blocked. You've got to keep on top. You're doing stuff like that.
And I think here comes the right hand right to the midsection. Perfect timing, perfect placement.
Solar plexus, here we go. Good night, baby.
Yes, you can see Blasquet walks him down as he did right throughout the fight. Fakes the left, just a little feint with the left, and the right comes through, and he knows. If there was a fault for Jake, and let's not be too harsh because it was a great fight, you felt at key moments when he had the initiative, he didn't press it.
He didn't. He had 4 or 5 key moments, and he just didn't take it. He backed off straight away, and this is not a game where it's your turn, then my turn, your turn, then my turn. If you can, it's your turn all the time.
And that's what Blasquet, I felt, did well. When he stayed there, he stayed in the pocket, he walked his man down, he threw the shots and was always there in range. But what I liked alongside the power, which you hinted at, was the pure technique as well.
Great technique, nice and straight, sensible, basic stuff, nothing flashy, get the job done.
Yes, superb fight though, we must say. Jake Barton and David Blasquet really gave us all there an incredible encounter of real power. And all that's left now is for Buddy Johnson, RMC, to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout ended 2 minutes 59 seconds of the second round. To your winner, by TKO, Jake Barton. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is sponsored by Starlight Signs, and we are ready for 3 3-minute rounds of professional kickboxing in the middleweight division. Our officials are ready, our fighters are ready. Grantham, make some noise if you're ready! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing officially at 83.2 kilograms. with 8 wins and just 5 defeats, representing Spirit Dojo, he is Jack Layton. And his opponent standing across the ring in the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in officially at 84.1 kilograms. Making his professional debut this evening, representing Suggy's Gym, Jay Chadburn. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. John Blackledge.
You heard the response there for Jay Chadburn. He's actually making his debut tonight against an experienced opponent, and in this experienced opponent's corner is the incredible fighter, Mr. Paul Daly, a great fighter himself. But I was talking to Dean Sugden, and he says, with the level of competition at our gym, I just know this man's ready.
Well, we know that they'll both have been schooled well. And the thing is with Dean Sugden, he's not going to put in anyone that's not ready. There's no chance. So he'll be well schooled, and if you look at them, what a solid fighter. That it's going to be a great match because, again, we've got this slight height difference. So let's look at the strategy and see what happens.
And as we saw earlier, how you utilise that strategy is so vital in this sport.
Exactly, and I think we'll see that from the get-go on this one.
Now, as I said, Jack Layton, the more experienced man from the Spirit Dojo. Paul Daly in his corner, seen everything in the game, just like Dean. But I've got a feeling that with this crowd behind him, and he has brought a huge crowd, that Jay will really start with that adrenaline flowing.
Well, he started on top. He's quicker. He's much more aggressive. He seems stronger, and Jack Layton hasn't found himself yet. He hasn't found his range.
You need to do it quickly, Howard, because that second right hand and a third right hand has grazed him. He's had the warning signs already.
The only thing you can say about the more experienced man, and Jack Layton's had 13 contests, is that he might wait for the storm to subside first.
But can he afford to with that left hand rocking him as well?
Well, it hurt him. He's been hurt a couple of times already.
Now, picking up on what you said, obviously, Jay, it's his debut, this huge support. He's come out like a train. That adrenaline dump, it's always a worry, isn't it?
It is. Dean will know whether he can keep it up or not, but Jack Layton, he's getting hurt, but he's keeping himself composed. He's obviously in good shape, and he's waiting for that storm to subside. I expect him now to start picking up the pace himself.
Yes, it's a dangerous game to play because before that storm subsides, you might find yourself on the canvas.
Yeah, well, there was a man called Mike Tyson who was pretty good at it.
Well, every time that Jay Chadburn lands, you can hear the crowd's response. We're halfway through the round and he's in dominant form at the moment.
Well, if Jay can sustain that kind of work rate, well, there's only one winner. But it's whether he can, and it is his debut, so obviously there is an adrenaline rush in the first minute or so.
Now, for Jack Layton, you always feel that if Paul Daly can get him back to his stool at the end of this first round, they can regroup and have another look.
Well, I'll tell you something, Jay Chadburn's much quicker. His technique is very sharp. Very sharp. He's throwing double combinations, punch kick, which is basic stuff, but he's doing it very well.
Well, we did mention at the beginning of this bout, well-schooled people because two great camps. And Dean was so confident of his man, he said, because I know who he's sparring with. I know the rounds he's putting in. He's got Chad Sugden there, a genuine Glory veteran to train with.
Yeah, Chad and Regis. So, yeah, he's got the best of the best with him. Coach, sparring, everything. But Jack Layton's not doing too bad. He's still in there. He's not phased. He's throwing good combinations back himself.
Yes, we're inside the last minute now, and it was a blistering start from Jay Chadburn, fueled obviously by the crowd and his desire to please them. He's brought a huge crowd here tonight, but just little signs of Jack Layton finding his feet and confidence as this round has progressed.
Well, you see, the thing is with power, it shocks you at first, then you settle down and you get used to it. And this kind of seems to be getting used to Jay's power.
Oh, having said that, two rights. The second one, luckily, across the top of Jack Layton's head. He responds nicely, so this round finishing on a real high here.
Yeah, I'll have Jay edging the round because of his aggression and work rate, but Jack Layton is not out of it at all.
Yes, a high round kick to the head from Layton to prove that point. There was a beautiful shot just before the end there, left of the body, right to the head from Jay Chadburn. But this is what excites me, Howard, is Jack Layton is still there. As you said, some of those punches were really powerful. and maybe he's just got used to it now. This second round could be so different.
It's a possibility. But again, the beginning of the round, we'll see what happens. But again, that's a lovely punch-kick combination there. And the speed of Jay Chadburn is excellent.
Yes, as you mentioned Mike Tyson, obviously, the reason for that, as we saw with that left hand and the hooking power, is the shorter man, the more squat man, the more powerful man, but fast with it.
Fast with it. And speed gives you power, especially when you're short and squat like that. He's got a very low centre of gravity, and he's got good eyes as well. I mean, that's excellent. Pad and low kick, basic Thai technique.
And it's nice to see a debutant mixing it up, not just boxing, not just headhunting, that kick to the lead leg as well. It's a very composed first round, but what excites me now as we come to the second is Jack Layton is still there. The last 40 seconds, we saw some good work from him. This could be a really interesting second round.
I think it will be. And if this second round ends and they're both still there, the third round will be very interesting.
So Jack Layton, as we said, still there. We're impressed with the debut of Jay Chadburn, but we're also impressed with the cool nature of Jack Layton. But that comes with the experience. We mentioned the one thing with his fight record is that much more experienced opponent.
Exactly. You know, he's been listening to his corner as well. He's been using straight shots and he's going for the head kick as well against the shorter man. Sensible stuff. The only thing Jack Layton continues to do, which I would not let him do, is he keeps moving to his left, which is into Jay Chadburn's right hand, which is a little silly.
Into the big right hand, but he is growing in confidence and he is staying in the pocket there with Jay and willing to trade with him. As you can see here, looking for his own shots now and now going for the lead leg of Chadburn as well. As we thought, this one is really heating up here in the second.
That's right. I mean, at the moment now, Jack Layton's having the better of it.
And Howard, it's a strange thing to say, but it's also true when you say you get used to the power, because let's face it, this is your sport. You are a fighter, so it's the same way as a team in football gets used to the way the other team plays. You absorb it, don't you?
Exactly. The thing is, Jack Layton will have seen this before, and what's happening now is that Jay, after his attacks, he's voluntarily going backward. So Jack's not even having to push him backward, which is not a good sign for Jay. They're still only halfway through the fight.
That's right, and we've got to look at the conditioning, the stamina of a debutant with the added pressure of your home crowd, huge ticket sales, and an experienced man in front of you. That said, whatever way this fight goes from now, it's still a superb debut from this man, but as I say that, Jack Layton, as you rightly say, picking up on every opportunity to push forward now.
He will do, because he's seen it all before. So he's allowed Jay to let off his little bit of steam, and now it's his turn.
That said, we still have the power of Jay Chadburn as the equaliser here. As Howard said, he does give ground after his attacks now. He doesn't stay in the pocket so much. And what I fear for him is, as he's giving ground, it's against a taller opponent coming forward as well.
Exactly, so it's making it harder for him. He's a shorter man going backward, and he's just picked up a right hand there.
And a second. And now the chopping lead leg kick from Layton, and that experience is just beginning to tell now, Howard.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What Jay's got to do now is got to keep his hands higher. They're way too low.
Well, this could be the fatigue we mentioned with the adrenaline rush that you get in the first round, the superb dominance, but now he is shipping right hands and right legs from Layton, who's really got the bit between his teeth. The crowd looking to inspire Chadburn, and what it's giving us is an incredible second round.
It is. Well, you see, the thing is, with Jack Layton now knows he can take Jay's power. We're not sure of the other way around yet. Jay's backing up, hands down, chin's a little bit high, and he looks in disarray now when Layton's pulling it on him.
Yes, Layton has grown in confidence. Skirted with the knee, and at the bell there, as we thought, a totally different second round from the experienced man. But I reiterate, making your debut against a man of this experience, whichever way it goes now, Jay Chadburn's proven he's got what it takes.
Yeah, he's proven his mettle. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. If he can suck it up now and know that the other man is as tired as he is, which is what I would be telling him in the corner, and really give it do or die in this last round, because it is on this last round. I gave that last round to Layton, so they're level on my cards.
That said, as we saw here, some good moments from Chadburn again, that speed and that power, but it's the way, as we saw, Jack Layton now stays there, and look at that
terrific uppercut. Well, what Jay's shown there is that he can take a shot too, which is a heartening sign.
Yes, it's been a fantastic 2 rounds, and Chadburn has had his moments, and you can hear the crowd here now, all around this arena, urging him on, but as Howard Brown says, this has set up a superb third round. I agree with him. I've got Leighton taking that second with everything to fight for in the third. But if he needs any further impetus, listen to that crowd on his behalf.
Wow, it's got to give him some calories, you know. But let's see what happens.
Leighton now doing as before, though, looking to walk his man down, looking to push forward with those long limbs, and that chopping right leg to the lead leg of Jay Chadburn. And again, we talked about the height difference, but even the body shape difference is a perfect setup for these two men. The shorter, heavily muscled man, the taller, leaner man, and both fighting to their strengths.
That's right, they are both fighting to their strengths. And because Leighton, he's keeping it straight, and Jay Chadburn, he's throwing these looping shots. There we go with the left hook again. Not so powerful, but it lands, and he pays the price with the counter.
Oh, and a nice right-hand counter himself to the midsection and a stiff left. And it's often an old cliche, but this one really is that who wants it most here in the third now.
Well, so far, this opening minute, it's been very tight. I can't pick a winner out of that minute, so it's how it unfolds from here on in.
Yes, 2 minutes left. These 3-minute professional rounds under Glory kickboxing rules here in this fantastic show, Road to Glory, here in Grantham. And these men are impressing tonight. And as I said, with Core Hemmers here in the crowd, you've got every incentive to really show your best. And they haven't let us down tonight so far from what we've seen.
It's been terrific action. And they're both putting bad intention in their shots now. But Jay Chadburn seems to have found a little bit extra spark again. He's ignited himself and he is going for it. Just needs to find the accuracy.
Well, the other question he answered was, we thought maybe there might be stamina issues with the occasion and making your debut. He's overrode those. He's still looking fit and strong and powerful.
Well, now he's, strategy-wise, he's coming forward again. Great right hand. And another.
And listen to that crowd respond. Oh, beautiful right round kick to the midsection, though, from Leighton. He's still there, still thinking. That's that experience.
It is, but now Jay's not going backwards so much. He's not volunteering to go backward. He's on the front foot, which is what he needs to do.
Yeah, there was a lazy, tired kick there from Leighton, which is, again, testament to, as you said, the way that Jay has suddenly come back again in the third and pushed forward. He'll get plenty of time to recover. This crowd will inspire him once more. But you just feel that maybe that extra pressure is beginning to tell on Jack.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we've yet to see. Jack's an unknown quantity, really, to me. It's the first I've seen him. I know he's from a terrific gym. I have a feeling he's going to dig down deep now too, because he's the experienced man.
Well, Jay Chadburn coming with those heavy hands, and every time he lands, the crowd go crazy. Dean Sugden calling him on, but as he does, he takes a short left, walks through it to land another left and right.
He counters the same all the time, Jack Leighton, and Jay just ignores it and keeps attacking, which really is what he needs to do. He's not experienced yet enough to defend against the counters.
Styles make fights, and they can negate a fight or really make them. This one has made this fight, hasn't it?
It's a cracking contest.
Oh, and a high round kick to the head from Leighton, saying, I'm still here. But with this being Glory rules as well, how do you see the fact that Chadburn has constantly came forward? Could that be the deciding factor here in the third?
It is in the third. He's pressing the fight in the third, which is what he needed to do.
And he landed a big right hand as well. And as Howard said, he's pressing the issue. This could be vital here at the end of round 3 under Glory rules.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that Jay Chadburn's nicked it.
Which is sensational, really, making your debut against an experienced man who weathered the storm. I honestly felt that at some point he would gas, and he hasn't, to his credit.
You know what? I didn't think he would gas, not at all. I thought with Dean in his corner, Dean would not allow it. He'd rather face Dean. He'd rather die in there than face Dean after gassing.
Now, Dean was very confident that he wouldn't be overmatched making his debut. He knew it was a risk. It was a risk well taken.
Yes, perfectly matched risk. I think Jack Leighton is a terrific fighter. A little bit slow. A tall man who is fast is a big problem, but Jay didn't have that in front of him, although he still was a problem.
What we did have, though, was, as you mentioned, about not wanting to go out of there, two men with superb chins.
Yeah, superb chins and superb hearts.
Well, we think it's on a knife edge, but we're in agreement. We think with that third round, let's get this straight. We gave Jay Chadburn the first, no doubts about it.
No doubt.
You were really impressed with the way that Jack Leighton came back in the second. An experienced man right to come back, the way you think he would come back.
Yes, absolutely.
Which left everything on the third, and we both went with the aggression of Chadburn. Is that a fair summing up of the fight, Howard?
And he landed the more effective shots as well. He still had snap in his shots, whereas Jack had no snap in his shots at all in that last round.
Well, we're going to find out now as Buddy Johnson makes this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 exciting rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards. And your winner, by majority decision, in the blue corner, Jack Layton.
Well, Howard, it was a majority decision. It was close. We thought that. We felt the aggression of Chadburn might have taken it, but 2 of the 3 judges saw it just the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't argue. I mean, it was so subjective. I mean, that last round there, for me, Chadburn landed the more effective shots and he landed more of them. But I wouldn't argue. I might watch that round again and have a completely different opinion. It was that kind of fight.
You're right, and whatever way it went, Chadburn has definitely got a future, and that was definitely a superb contest.
Yes, brilliant from both men.
This is Road to Glory, and we are ready for 3 3-minute rounds of professional kickboxing in the light heavyweight division. This bout sponsored by Wilson Printers. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighted officially at 94.6 kilograms with 11 wins and just 60 feet, representing Bad Company, Mateusz Duchmal. And his opponent standing across the ring in the red corner, 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighted officially at 94.2 kilograms. With a professional record of 16 wins with just 1 defeat, representing Respect Gym, he is Fraser Weightman. Once again, when the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. John Blackledge.
Light heavyweight division and the big tall men, Howard. Mateusz Duchmal, Bad Company leads. Richard Smith there in his corner, 11 wins, 6 losses. Fraser Weightman, Barinder Singh in his corner, 16 wins and only 1 loss. 2 great camps, but I've seen Fraser before, and he's only got that 1 defeat, but he had a layoff. He's just making his way back in. I felt when I saw him earlier that he had real potential, as we can see from his record, and he's just coming back in. I was talking to Barinder at the weigh-ins, and he's saying he's got a lot of fights lined up for him again to get him back in the circuit, back going again.
Well, he's young enough, and they're 2 well-matched lads, aren't they? I mean, both well over 6 feet. Similar records, although Fraser seems much more successful. But as you say, if he's had the layoff, well, we'll see how things are going to turn out for him tonight. But they do look well-matched, although I must say that Fraser Weightman, what a physique. I mean, he looks like so strong and so fit. But that's not anything to go by really in the fight game.
No, it's, as I said, 6'5", 6'4", the light heavyweights. The intensity always goes up in any arena when the big men enter the ring. And as I said, talking to Barinder, he's got big plans for Fraser, but Mateusz, as we said, is from the Bad Company gym in Leeds with a huge pedigree. Yeah,
well, he's got Richard Smith, as you say, and Richard's a brilliant coach, and he was a brilliant competitor too. Very well schooled.
And his wife as well, legendary up there in Leeds, those guys.
Yes, they are, absolutely are. This is a good fight, Malcolm. Nice and relaxed, lots of good technique, tight guards.
Yes, and Fraser walking Mateusz down and then looking for the big left and right. Mateusz stands his ground, and this is what I like about these two, that they're staying there in the pocket, they're looking closely at each other, and both happy to stand and trade.
Well, they seem to be the most experienced ones so far tonight, and you can tell by their technique. I mean, they are cool and relaxed, and this is where the speed and power are going to tell. In terms of strategy, as you would suspect from his physique, Fraser's pressing it.
Yes, and despite that physique, it was an easy left round kick to the head. He took a right reply. Mateusz, as I said, focused. He's in the pocket as well. These are 2 big, dangerous men, and they both know it, Howard.
Well, I like Mateusz, I've got to admit. He keeps his eyes wide open. He lays back, he moves back, he takes the shot, and he counters very accurately. And Fraser's going to have to be on his toes. After those attacks, he's got to tighten up quickly.
Well, this is what excites me about this one. As we saw before, and you commentated on before, sometimes a fighter will come forward, do a combination, and when he should stay there, sometimes moves away. We've seen with these two, they're happy to stay there and use their defensive structure within the same phrasing, isn't it? That they're there all the time, yet still good defensively.
Very good defensively, but Fraser's guard could be a little bit tighter, especially when he's finished throwing. He's leaving himself open to the counters.
And the heavy shots come in again from both men. As we come to the last minute, left kick to the midsection of Fraser, blocked it with his elbow, and then looked for the knee, turned it to a kick, Mateus.
Mateus has not taken many shots in reply. Even when Fraser's been on the attack, Mateus has defended so well, and he's countered in spots very well.
Inside leg kick from Fraser there, the first one of the round, and then the big left hand. And this excites me because you feel either man with one really clean shot could finish this.
Well, I think this is still a feeling out process round for me. I really think it is. And that was a good attack and a good defense from Fraser.
Right hand from Fraser, but the knee immediately from Mateus went right into the midsection.
Mateus is looking to counter everything.
So inside, coming to the last 10 seconds of an enthralling round. And I agree with you, it's been a powerful feeling out process. There's still power there, but you feel there's more to come from both men.
There is. This is going to be a traditional type contest where that first round, as action-packed as it was, is just only a glimpse of what's to come. And I think they're really going to go for it in the next 2 rounds.
And the other thing as well, when we look at men of this size, there's a conservatism about their work, isn't it? Just because of the energy levels, when that amount of muscle that you're carrying, and these are big shots, and as you said, big men, they're thinking it cleverly as well.
Yes, they are. They are. I mean, I don't even know which way to go on that round. I don't know whether to go for the aggression of Fraser or for Mateus' good defense and counters. It's a pick 'em, win 'em that round.
Yes, intriguing contest. And we see there the focus of both men. And as we saw there, the knee to counter to the right hand, they stay in their pocket. They're happy to trade, looking for the openings. And yet, it's the traditional phone box, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a traditional Thai-style fight. If I had to edge, I would have to probably go with the aggressor if I had to, but I'd sit on the fence given the choice.
Well, we have got potentially 2 more rounds, but both Howard and I feel that they're going to step this up again, as is the Thai tradition, stepping up each round. That we felt with all the power there, it was a feeling out process, and if to prove the point, a double left, straight right from Fraser and a big right leg kick from Mateus. They've answered it already, Howard. They've stepped it up already.
Yes, they have. They've had a look at each other. Now it's time to get to work.
And Mateus happy to switch southpaw and orthodox, chops away at the legs. They both, again, that experience, they acknowledge the fact the kick was low. No fuss made, straight back on with it.
Good sportsmanship. Proper fighters. These are warriors, Malcolm.
And Fraser looking to check those kicks of Mateus now, and he knees to. The power's coming in. We've seen a step up in power. Now he looks for the big hands and the knees himself. Doubles up the body shot with the left hand, trying to keep Mateus there, but he counters so well with his back to the ropes.
Very well. He just spat his gumshoe there. John Blackledge got to get it washed and clean now. Fraser's still pressuring the action. I notice he does a couple of things. He keeps holding onto the ropes to kick. I don't know whether that's a sign of fatigue coming on, although he did it in the first round too. So far, again, little to choose from. I like the look of Fraser, but again, Mateus is clear-eyed and countering well.
Yes, sometimes when you've got your back against the rope and you're under pressure, it can really go against you, but he seems confident and comfortable there.
Yeah, it's as if that's probably the way he fights. He's a counter-attacking fighter. If he started to come forward, that would make things interesting.
Yes, it could possibly double up the impact from Fraser as well, but as I said again, Mateus with his back to the ropes, a left-right, a third combination there. It's almost like when he feels those ropes, it spurs him into action there.
Yes. It's exactly right. His back touches the ropes. He knows where he is. He knows his positioning. He knows what to do.
Oh, and the left round reply to the low kick from Fraser. Fraser looks, turns it into a little side kick defensively after he misses with the round kick.
Experience, Malcolm. Experience.
And for me, Howard, still very close. Very
close. It is very close. Again, I would have to lean towards the aggressor. He's making the fight and he's landing some good shots too. So I'm going to lean towards Fraser.
And that is what the Glory rule set out to achieve, wasn't it? Constant aggression, constant action for the crowd.
Exactly. Because if both men are counter-attackers, we haven't got a fight. So you've got to go really with the guy that's making the fight if he is landing.
And again, another thing that was made clear is it's not necessarily the prettiness or the cleanness of the technique, it's the power and the hurtful nature of the technique as well.
The more efficient fighter gets the round, that's how it's scored, and that's how it should be scored.
Well, to pick up on what you're saying, the first time the Weightman right hand landed cleanly through the channel. And then he spins with the side kick as well and lands with the left again. It's the first bit of daylight for me between the two of them.
Yes, it is. But the other daylight in this round is that Fraser Weightman is showing more variety in technique this round too. You know, he's showing he's not just sticking to the basics now. He's opening up the channels with the angles.
That said, a good combination, defiant combination from Mateusz Dushmal there, right on the bell. And they did pick up the pace in the second. We can see technically they're very sound. But Fraser Weightman bit on that gum shield and kept pushing forward the whole 3 minutes.
Yeah, he wouldn't be denied, and he made that round his. If one of them starts to use the angles with their footwork, moving to the side, they don't have to move quickly, just subtle shifts left or right, and open up more angles, then we'll see some success.
A lot of the round was here against the ropes, wasn't it?
A lot of it, a lot of the first round too, and the pattern was set then. So Fraser pressures, Mateusz goes back. He's not allowed to clinch for too long here, so he knows it, he lets go. After that knee, and then it's back to square one.
And that is where you would maybe like to have seen the lateral movement, stepping off the centre line to counter.
Yeah, Fraser keeps going straight ahead. He's direct. He's having success doing that, but he could have much more. That's a nice kick. He could have more success now if he moved off to the side as well, especially when your man's in the corner.
Now that was the danger for Mateusz. We saw how well he works in the corner, but that was always when Fraser was close. Suddenly, Fraser changed that range and was able to land all those kicks while he was still in the corner. In that way, it then suddenly worked against him.
Yeah, because the variety of technique was giving Mateusz more to think about.
So third and final round, and Mateusz explodes back as Fraser Weightman comes forward. And again, a superb contest.
Yeah, it's the same strategy, but I think that Fraser just picked up a couple of counters there. Looked like it hurt him.
Well, that left hand specifically was very dangerous for Mateusz. And this is a different game when you've got your back to the ropes, if you're going to fire like that.
It is, and he's experienced, Mateusz. He knows what he's doing. Bit of sportsmanship there as well. It's great to see from these guys.
Well, it's the third and final round, and like, as you mentioned, the traditional Thai fights, they're stepping it up round after round.
These are two experienced Muay Thai campaigners. It's clear from not just the technique they're doing, but also from their sportsmanship and from the way the fight has gone. And now it's going to be at its pinnacle in this third round.
Yes, and Fraser Weightman still pushing forward, but this time Mateusz, as we saw there with the two body shots and the punch to the head, finally Fraser Weightman starting to breathe heavily now as he takes those shots.
For a minute there, Malcolm, I thought that Mateusz was going to start coming forward and things would get interesting, but he made it one attack moving forward, and then he went back into defensive mode.
You mentioned it in round two, though. Stylistically, you've got an idea that's the way he fights. He's comfortable with the back to the ropes, use that little extra bit of impetus to come off them like that.
Well, he started to go forward now, and here we go.
Oh, jumping knee. The crowd love it. The corner love it. And he's on his toes once more. Fraser, to be fair to him, has stuck to the game plan doggedly, whatever happens. But he's being made to pay up more in this third round.
Yes, he has. When Mateusz comes forward, he looks dangerous. He looks threatening. Looks like he might take over. And then he goes back into that back to the ropes mode. And Fraser goes, well, thank you. I'll have some of that.
It's been a tough night's work for both men. Fraser Weightman has to be applauded for sticking to the game plan, constantly pushing forward, but he's against an opponent very comfortable with his back to the ropes.
Very
and like
comfortable.
yourself, Howard, I would just like to see Mateusz come into that centre ring and start pushing forward, because he's got all the tools.
Yeah, he's got the tools to do it. It's not just a question of physical strength, it's what you're throwing. And if he starts throwing that front kick and the knee, there's no reason why he can't drive Fraser back for longer periods.
Well, we're inside the last minute, and this third round has been hurtful for both men. Fraser Weightman, he's been caught more in this third, but he's consistently stuck to the game plan, walking forward even after getting caught. It's natural. The left hand lands. Mateusz, I feel, has had more coming forward like that, but Fraser is still, for me, has said to the judges, look at me, I'm going forward. That big right hand landed.
Gum shield came out there, Mateusz. It's close though, this one. This is a much closer round and harder to score because Mateus is having much more success than he had in the second.
Oh, 3 superb rounds. And for me, what I liked about this fight was they had a good look at each other in the first. They stepped it up in the second. And although he was happy to be with his back against the ropes, Mateus still threw more in the third as Fraser came forward, which for me makes it so close. That's why it is so close. Both men stepped up the game. Normally, you can see the difference between the two when one steps it up and the other can't match it. These two both stepped it up.
That's right, they both had their moments. And in that third round, Mateus counted a lot more than he did in the second. So for the judges, it's a very difficult one. I'd probably like to see it scored a draw. That's the coward nature. I mean, that was a great knee there to the head. And he landed those scene-stealing moments.
And we could see there Fraser really gasping for breath and then pushing forward and doing this. As we said, the thing that fascinated me was neither man allowed the other to get that little bit of daylight between them. They both kept pushing. They both sort of like had an internal clock that said, he's done well here, I need to come back.
Exactly. Don't let him get the edge.
And Barinder Singh was screaming at Fraser at the end there, right by side our commentary position, keep pushing forward. I think he knows this is on a knife edge. We're going to find out from Buddy. I'm going to be really interested, Howard, to see how this one goes, because like you, I don't really want to call it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is sponsored by Wilson Printers. 3 exciting rounds, and we go to our judges' scorecards. To your winner by unanimous decision, Fraser Whiteman.
Howard, I think they've gone with the man, as you said, constantly pressing the issue. Mateus played a dangerous game with his back to the ropes. He countered well, but you mentioned it across each of the 3 rounds that Fraser kept pushing forward.
Yeah, you've got to go with the aggressor, and that's the nature of glory scoring, and it's a traditional way to score. Mateus would have had to be a lot more effective than he was, especially in that second round, which I thought was decisive when he threw it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for 3 3-minute rounds of professional kickboxing in the heavyweight division at plus 95 kilograms. This bout sponsored by Plant and Tool Hire. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout, a heavyweight bout at plus 95 kilograms. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall and weighed officially at 106 kilograms with 19 wins and just 7 defeats. Representing Fearless MMA, he is Chris Cooper. And his opponent in the red corner, standing 6 feet tall and weighed officially at 128 kilograms with 4 professional wins and 2 defeats. Fighting out of Stamford, he is Rick Dale. And the action begins. Your referee in charge, John Blackledge.
3 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Chris Cooper, 39, our oldest competitor tonight. 19 wins, 7 losses. From Fearless MMA in Birmingham. Rick Dale, 32 years of age, from Scunthorpe Kickboxing Academy. The less experienced of the two, 4 wins, 2 losses, but we're over 95k now, Howard, and we know with the heavyweights, 1 strike can end this.
Absolutely, and Rick Dale, what a spring chicken, 32. It's great to see the guys still in the game at that age, but at heavyweights that can be young, depending upon when he started. He's only had 6 contests, so his body will still be fresh. But Chris Cooper, substantially more experienced.
Yes, and we'll probably try to make that pay, but as you said, I mean, fighters in their 30s now, it's commonplace. Each generation, we get fitter, we learn ways to stay in the game longer, and I mean, you look now, 40 is not a barrier, and even in professional boxing at the heavyweight divisions.
That's right, Bernard Hopkins.
So, Rick Dale tucks up as Cooper starts fast and lively, left hands to the head, the right chopping kicks to the lead leg of Rick Dale. Set out his stall early here, Cooper.
He must have thrown 20 shots already, and Rick Dale hasn't thrown any.
No, Rick is walking forward, but he needs to mount an assault as he comes forward, and he tries for the first time. not particularly effectively to start as he works his way into this bout, but Cooper started very, very fast indeed.
Rickdale hasn't been bothered. He's got a nice tight guard, but he's got to do some work if he wants to win. Otherwise, he's just going to be a punch and kick bag all night long.
Nice variety of work from Cooper there, looking to go downstairs and then come back up afterwards, chopping at the inside lead leg of Dale as well. Dale, for the first time, those rights to the body as he gets closer.
It's very good work from Chris Cooper. I'm quite impressed. As long as he keeps himself nice and relaxed and he can sustain this, then this will be a terrific performance. Because Rickdale's at 6s and 7s here.
As you mentioned earlier as well, the first time tonight, moving away from his opponent's right hand, moving off that centre line, throwing his shots. There's that experience, not just age, but fight experience as well.
That's right. Although he's leaning back against the ropes now, resting his arms. That is an old gamer's trick, but Rickdale is just too slow to take advantage.
Well, that knee landed, and then the punches and the knees coming through again. Accurate as well, Cooper. Accurate, mobile, and hurtful.
Well, if Chris Cooper can sustain this, he's going to stop Rickdale. He's going to stop him.
Well, it's nice combinations, Howard. He uses the hands and feet well, then he brings the knees in, and that right hand's getting through cleanly. For the first time, it seemed to unsettle Rickdale. As you said, he's taken the rest pretty well, but that right hand, followed by those knees, he can't keep taking that. He's got to mount an offensive of his own.
Well, Rickdale's thrown the odd single shot, and he hasn't really had an effect. I was thinking that maybe he's one of these powerhouse guys that need to catch it with just the one, but I'm not so sure that's the case.
Well, he needs to take every opportunity, because when you walk your man down and you have to take shots to get where you need to be, it's wasted unless you work.
Exactly. And funnily enough, he'll become fatigued as well, even though he's not throwing.
Well, he's eaten knees to the midsection, he's eaten right hands, his chin is strong, I will give him that. He's doing the right thing, but now the left and right got right through the channel as well, even with his guard up. And with 20 seconds to go in the first round, there's no way you can make an argument for him.
No, he doesn't mind that he's given away this round, it seems to me. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds, because Rickdale is not hurt.
Well, we're going to come to the bell now, and as you said quite rightly, his best action, ironically, of the round was right in those last 5 seconds before the bell. He's shaking his head as he goes back to his corner.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's thinking, okay, I lost the round, but hey-ho. I have a feeling he's used to this kind of activity. So it'll be interesting to see. He's an unknown quantity. He's only had 6 contests. He has lost 2 of them. And Chris Cooper is vastly more experienced. I mean, Chris has had 27 contests.
And it shows here, doesn't it, the way he looked after himself, the way he moved, the way he conserved energy.
Yeah.
And if I was Rick, I wouldn't want to be continually taking those knees, but the point you make is a valid one. He's still there and was never really hurt.
No, he didn't get wobbled or anything like that. He might be a little bit out of breath. That's just because he's such a very big guy more than anything else.
I mean, we have Chris Cooper winning that clearly, but again, we look 39 years of age, a lot of effort in that opening round. Is Rickdale playing the old rope-a-dope, hoping that Chris will lose steam and then start to come forward? We're going to find out here in the second. He's definitely lost the first, and Cooper comes out just like he did in the opening round, with real intent here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of the same. Rickdale, though, you can see he's sharp enough. I mean, those low kicks he's landing are good. His technique's not bad, and he's quite feisty, quite fast.
Well, I think his corner must have said, come on, get into this, get moving, now's the time. You've had a good look at him, you're not hurt, get your own work going. Let's see how much gas Cooper's got left in the tank.
Exactly, it's time for him to put the pressure on. He'll keep walking forward behind that high guard and throwing those leg kicks. And that's a sprightly, soft-sitting move there, just evaded that low kick from Chris Cooper.
But Cooper sticking to his game plan, the knees, and then the punches over the top. Now Dale comes in, almost lands with that right hand.
Well, Rickdale's a much bigger man. He's not bothered about the power of Chris Cooper. That much is obvious. Even though he's got his hands up, he's got respect, but he thinks he can walk forward without any problem whatsoever.
Now, the problem for him is if it goes to points, it's an easy win to score to Cooper. When he gets here, he must maximise it and really work.
Well, he's going to start blasting away with single shots every now and again and hoping to get lucky more than anything else.
because Cooper has stuck to the game plan. The knees have come through, the teeps have come through, the hands high, and even with his back to the ropes here, he's not really been put under immense pressure, and Rick's not doing it now.
That's simply because Rick Dale's a plodder. He's plodding forward, so anything that he does start to throw, Chris Cooper's going to see coming from a mile.
Well, Cooper doesn't show signs of fatigue either, which would be worrying if you're Rick Dale. You're thinking maybe at 39 the gas will start to leave the tank, we will start to run on empty, and it's not happening. And I agree with you, Rick Dale has got a very potent weapon in those kicks.
He has. He looked a little bit threatening with a couple of punches he's thrown as well, but he hasn't landed them. Be interesting to see what happens if he does.
And again, as he comes forward, Cooper times it, catches his man on the way in, and then moves again, which for me is always frustrating when you do the hard work, when you take the shots to get to where you need to be, and then find your opponent's gone again.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And over 3 rounds, it's not going to work. He's just trying to get lucky. He's going to have to start throwing Rick Dale if he wants to have any real success.
Well, Cooper's answered very strongly in the second round. No, I'm not fatiguing. I'm going to continue the same way. It's bread and butter technique, but it's working for him.
That's right. Sensible man. He's experienced. Rick Dale there trying an uppercut, but he missed by a mile. Even after, because he's thrown hardly any techniques, he's got no real good sense of distance or timing.
And Cooper again, that right hand finds the target. I agree with you, Howard. Rick Dale feels like to me that he could take these all night and not go down. He's not being harmed, he's not worried, but he must realise that when we get back to the corner after 2 rounds, he's hugely behind on points.
Hugely behind. Hugely behind. There's only 1 winner so far, and Rick Dale's still dangerous, but he's got to throw. His right leg kick, it's pretty good, it's decent, but it's not slowing Chris Cooper down in the slightest.
And Cooper, we felt, well, let's have a look, 39 years of age, set a fast pace. He's breathing heavily in his corner now, but he kept that pace up across the 2 rounds. And to be honest, here in the third, if he just gets on his bike and continues moving, he doesn't need to engage with Rick Dale.
No, he can afford to give this round away and still win comfortably. But I've a feeling that he won't. I think he's going to come out working again.
Well, here we go. The right hand lands, he moves, takes that rest, as you said, that experience, comes forward, throws the Superman punch. It's all his way.
Yes, it is. Nothing coming back.
So Rick Dale, we feel, there's no 2 ways about it, he needs a stoppage here. I like his low kicks, they're just not thrown frequently enough, and he's shown some danger with his hands, but just not enough.
No, and he's not thrown anything in combination. No hand and kick combinations whatsoever.
And there's that movement off the centre line that works so well for Chris Cooper and frustrates Rick Dale again. He just moves out the way, moves off that centre, and then comes back to centre when he's ready.
That's right, he's controlling the fight. He's controlling it from the outside, but he's controlling it nicely, mainly because Rick Dale's allowing him to.
And again, when you see that mobility, you wonder why Rick isn't throwing even more of those leg kicks. Recognise the danger, see how mobile your man is, chop away at that leg, chop away at it, and then it's an equaliser for you. If you're not as mobile, you stop him being so mobile.
Exactly. I mean, Rick's coming forward now, throwing a little bit, but not a lot.
And again, it's frustrating for him because as you see him set himself, Chris Cooper then comes forward. His timing is good in this bout as well. That experience is telling in terms of he lets Rick walk forward so far and then, again, just like this, he's doing it constantly to him.
That's right, he's stopping any thought of attack in its tracks. Good leg kick again there from Rick Dale. Chris Cooper just counters and keeps firing. Content to go backward, no problem.
Well, looking at Rick Dale's style, and it's easy to say outside of the ring, I respect that. It's easy when I'm sat here in a commentary position. But if that's the way I'm going to fight, and I actually throw a good leg kick, I, from the opening round, pound, then start to bring the hands in over top when I've slowed Chris down. He's got the potential to be able to do that. He just hasn't done it.
What he could do is just basics, hand and leg combinations. He throws either punches or a kick. He hasn't blended anything. So it's really easy for Chris Cooper.
Yes, and Chris is doing the right things. He moves away from that right hand, and I love the fact as he sees Rick Dale go to set himself up, he takes him out of that pattern again, he takes him out of that rhythm, and Rick has to start all over again.
Exactly. I can't see the pattern changing unless something spectacular happens, and it looks like a landslide victory to Chris Cooper, and a fairly comfortable one at that.
Yes, I mean, Rick Dale never seemed in trouble, taking a lot of shots, hasn't even blinked with them. But
No.
by the same token, he hasn't asked very many questions of Chris Cooper or his chin at all.
That was a good kick that Rick Dale just threw. He's got it within him. I don't know what's wrong with the guy.
I feel
Throwing
exactly the
shots.
same way. How you can see he's got it.
It's as if he's resigned to just walking forward and looking like, well, I can take his shots all night. Well, how about hitting the other guy back?
I agree with you. I feel he could go 5 rounds here and still be there and still go back to his corner going, I'm fine.
Absolutely. But he doesn't win you fights.
Cooper, to his credit, no sign of gassing, lots in the tank, lateral movement, going off that centre line, taking his man out of his rhythm. The perfect fight for the opponent in front of him.
Super. Well, I'm going to say it now. Superb win for Chris Cooper.
I agree totally. Rick Dale frustrated me because I see the potential there, I see the ability there. He's got a chin, he walked through that, he's got a good solid kick, and then he shows that he can kick high with the best of them as well.
That's right. Just no effort.
Well, we think this is a formality, but fair play to Chris Cooper. It was the right tactic for the right man in front of him. So we're ready for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, is our sponsor from Eggplant, Plant and Tool Hire. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards. And your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Chris Cooper.